Hello, everybody. It's Stacey Tucker. How are you doing on this new moon, October 16th, 2020? It's very rainy and dark here today in the little corner of Connecticut that I live. So I hope the sun is shining where you are. Although I like the rain. I don't know, it's soothing and it has a lot of good energy to it. So I've always loved the rain, so I'm not complaining. Today I wanted to talk about the divine masculine guides, or sacred masculine, some call divine feminine, sacred masculine. It was interesting as I was preparing for this video. I was reflecting on, do I call on masculine guides? How often do I call on the feminine or the masculine? And I would say it is pretty equal. I mean, I often times go to the Marys for sure, and Sophia in the feminine camp, but there, I mean, it's just as equal amount of time that I will call on the masculine guides as well. So they are definitely worth discussing and sharing some tools that I use that you can use and call on for support and information, and really getting in touch with the astral realm and beyond, right? The upper realms of our existence. So I'm going to dive right in. I think I mentioned on the last video the Archangels, which again, they are energetic beings, and they don't have, in their truest sense, they do not have a gender. They aren't masculine or feminine. But as humans, we need to have the container of not necessarily a label, but a container for understanding. And so often we see the archangels as masculine, like Michael or Uriel, who are more of the warrior protector type of guides. Michael is very active on the planet right now, always has been, and he really is a go-to that most people know, even the little ones, right? A lot of kids know about Archangel Michael and how he is a protector to call on when you feel unsafe or you feel like you need safety if you're traveling, if you're going on a journey, or just in your own life. If you feel like you need security, Michael is a great one to call on. I'm also going to be showing you some of the sprays that I use. I think I mentioned last time I use a lot of Amanda Ellis's sprays. She is a divine spiritual teacher in the UK, and you can find her at Angelic Celestial Colors online. I don't get anything for her for plugging her, but she's amazing. So and I have just about every single one of her sprays. And so this is the Michael spray, which I use a lot. I use the Archangels quite a bit to call on for so many things. And at the end of this, I'm going to give you an exercise that I do when I call on the angels, in meditation, in prayer, in just in my connection, in my prayer chair. I have an exercise, if you want to call it that I will share with you at the end. So I will be doing that. So there are for sure the archangels as guides, and there are others as well. I mean, let's talk about Jesus for a minute, right? The Christ being, not necessarily Jesus the man, but the Christ being that inhabited Jesus during his lifetime, right? And that energy and that being is alive and well and is eternal. And I was raised Catholic, and there was in my schooling a huge hole about who Jesus actually was, and the Christ being, the energetic being that inhabited Jesus the man, right? There's a whole world of information that is left out of church teachings on purpose, for for specific reasons, and one being that it is an energy that you can access and have, and you should access, and it's an energy that is within you to access. And the second coming of Christ isn't a person, one person. The second coming of Christ is embodying that Christ energy within you. And one of the books, there's 3 books in my life that changed my view of the world and myself so profoundly. And one of them was The Power Within You by Eric Butterworth, which I would recommend to everyone, except I sent it to my father and he said it helped him fall asleep every night. So there you go. So I guess you have to be in the right frame of mind and open-minded to accept the teachings and be ready for them and all that. Love you, Dad, but he didn't get it. But Power Within You, I'll put it in the description box below, from Eric Butterworth. And it really teaches about who Jesus was, and he was here to show us that we have this power within us. We have the connection to God within us. We don't need a middleman. We can go right to the source because it is within our own hearts. And that book changed my view of things so unbelievably profoundly. And I have carried that information and that wisdom with me ever since. And I really try and live my life by that. But it is within us, but it is also, in the world. It is within another person that you meet. It is within the animals. The Christ energy is within the earth and the stars and the sun. That's a whole other topic about what the sun actually is and represents. And the sun represents the light of Christ. It is our energy source, right? And the solar logos is the Christ being. So everyone will, but everyone should be calling on this energetic being for support, especially now during these transitions in our world. And it's very easy to do. It's not some judgmental father in the sky waiting to strike us down for all of our wrongdoings. It's that loving, nurturing older brother energy, that someone who has your best interest and loves you unconditionally and no judging, right? And so if you can picture that and embrace that idea as what Christ consciousness is, it will fill you up with such love of yourself and of others, and it really starts to melt and chip away at the walls around our hearts that we carry from wounding and life. And so connecting to the Christ consciousness is something I do all the time as well. So that is a huge masculine, and Jesus was actually perfectly balanced in his masculine and feminine energies. And he really represented and still represents the wholeness of man and woman together. Again, something that the church just never, touched upon and kept out of what we were supposed to learn. So we had to go learn it by ourselves, on our own. So that's what I've done. So the Christ consciousness for sure is an amazing energy, masculine to tap into. And it's interesting, when I have done visualizations, there was one, I had done the RISE program, RYSE, RISE program, and they talk about visualizing what your feminine energy looks like within, right? So you're closing your eyes and you're imagining, what does my feminine energy look like, right? And so then you would have that be an image. And what does your masculine energy look like? And my masculine energy always looked like Jesus, or my image of what I would think Jesus would look like. So as the perfect embodiment of masculine energy, right? What we want all men to be, I guess, right? Jesus, but they can't all be Jesus. Love them anyway. But so we talked about the archangels, and we talked about Christ, and you know, it's funny, I have my sprays that I use to connect to the archangels and to Yeshua, who's also called Jesus, Christ consciousness, love. And I also wanted to show you some oracle decks that are masculine in nature. One of the archangels is Archangel Metatron, who appears as masculine, and I have one deck that I really like, the Archangel Metatron deck. This is also by Amanda. I'm not trying to plug her today or anything, but this is a great one, and it was so funny. I had to share with you. I pulled a card from her deck today as I was preparing for this video, and the one that flew out at me was this one, blue, which is Mother and Mothering, Madonna and Mothering, which I had to laugh because I was looking for a masculine card, and what does he give me but the feminine? So I thought, first of all, it was a cosmic joke on Metatron's part, just to say, yes, there are divine masculine energies to call on, but it's all about balance, and it's all about uniting the two using this, and he threw the Madonna and Mothering, and that the divine feminine energy is here with me now. So I thought that was just so funny because it's the exact opposite of what I was looking for, but there is a lesson in there as well. So this is a great deck. It has a masculine feel to it, I would say, masculine energy to it. Another one that I love is the Mystical Shaman Oracle. This I use a lot too. I didn't resonate with this one at first for some reason, until maybe I started really embracing the masculine energy, and then I just fell in love with it. And it's funny how with oracle decks you can not really resonate right away, and you may think it's not for you, but then come back sometime later or years later, and then it's the right timing for you. So this is a great deck by Alberto, Villoldo, and Colette Baron-Reed and Marcela Lobos. So I would recommend this one too. And the card that I pulled earlier for this reading is the hummingbird, which is so great. And you know, and hummingbirds are so unbelievably territorial, beautiful. And again, I feel like the cards that I was getting today were more about balancing the feminine and the masculine, because the hummingbird is beautiful. And we think of, you know, at least my first thought of a hummingbird is feminine, beauty, bird, pretty, but the beautiful ones are the males, right? And the brown ones are the females. And it's that way in all of nature, right? The beauty, the attractor, is the male, looking to attract the mate. And the hummingbirds are also so unbelievably territorial. I mean, anybody who has a feeder and watches them sees they are vicious. They are vicious creatures. But the message of the hummingbird is all about not staying stagnant and really keep moving forward, keep moving, keep expanding, keep going for what you want in life, right? Which is a great message, and it's one that I have to remember. As I said in my last video, I thought my work was over. You know, I'm like, oh, you know, I'm done. I don't know why I felt done, but I just felt like, really, I have to keep going. And the hummingbird is saying, yes, you have to keep going. So, so I'm keeping going. Another great masculine deck is this Sacred Geometry deck by Hart, which again was one that I didn't quite resonate with right away. It's a lot of math. You know, sacred geometry is an amazing topic that I will touch on later. Still learning about it myself, but there's so much to know and learn about with sacred geometry. I mean, that's what we are. We are made up of waves and shapes, and you know, and we are in the flow of all of these different you know, experiences of life are all made up of like yin and yang, and you know, it's just there's so much to learn, and I'm still learning about sacred geometry. But this is a great deck too that I've used, and I'll show you two more. The Anubis Oracle. has given me so much information. And this is a tarot deck, but of course it's based on ancient Egyptian teachings, which is a very masculine time of that on the planet. I mean, even the women, when you think about, and the goddesses, and you think about Isis, who was like strong as any woman goddess could be, right? The goddess Isis, and as well as Sekhmet. I mean, she had the head of a lion, for goodness sakes. You know, so all of the women were portrayed as these powerful, no nonsense, run you over goddesses, right? There was no real, soft side to any of the Egyptian goddesses. They are all hardcore, and they talk about fierce compassion. You know, just in that phrase alone, fierce compassion is, I mean, that's saying a lot. So this one I've used a ton, and this is by Nicki, Scully, and Linda Starwolf, and I love this one too. And then this last one, which is going to be on my thumbnail cover, Gods and Titans by Stacey Demarco. This is fun, and I actually bought this one for my son, who is 13, because he, I try and keep him into all of my spiritual work, and this is just a fun, accessible one to use, and for archetypal kind of exploration as well, and to dive into the alter ego, right? If you're looking to help build the confidence of your little soul, your little person that you're raising, whether it be male or female, using the oracle cards, having them shuffle and pick a card and read what's associated with them, is a great way to get them connected to dialogue with spirit, as well as dialogue, with their inner voice and what the universe wants to share with them that day. So these are just wonderful tools too to share with kids. So those are some great oracle decks. I talked about my sprays. One other masculine energy that is accessible that I am now really calling in more, which I haven't really spent a lot of time on, and I will be sharing in later videos when I'm more adept at it, is the galactic energies, right? There's so much coming into our planet right now from other planets, from other star systems. It is the old way of thinking, and it is the arrogant way of thinking that we are the only beings in the universe. I mean, that makes no sense at all. And so there are other energies that are newer, that are accessible to us if we are open to them. One that many talk about, and I even have Amanda's Commander Ashtar spray, which you can do some research about Commander Ashtar. But the Galactics energy, which is very masculine and powerful, is also a great energy to tap into. So I will just I will leave you with that one. But to close, what I want to share with you is a practice, an exercise that I do in my prayer chair to when I want to access the archangels, right? So I use the 6 archangels of Archangel Raphael, Michael, which you can call him, or Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Metatron, and Sandalphon, and they all represent different aspects of energy of the earth. They represent different directions, right? Raphael is in the east, and I associate him with like the color green, and Michael is in the south, and I associate him with like the fire energy. And then Gabriel is in the west, and I associate him with the water energy. Uriel is in the north, and he is earth energy. And Metatron is above, and Sandalphon is below. So if you were to call on and visualize the archangels around you, right? You have Raphael to your left, you have Michael who's in front of you, you have Gabriel to your right, Uriel's behind you, you have Metatron above, and Sandalphon below. And just in naming them and picturing them in my, I'm visualizing them, I feel them, right? And so it's a connection and a practice, and you can call it an exercise, whatever you want to call it, of intention. You are setting an intention to connect with these beings, and as I just do this now, like I feel, you can feel the tingling in your body, and you can sense them, and and you feel their presence, and it is it's very reassuring to know they're there, and it's also very I don't want to say like you need proof, but if you're looking for proof, you will feel it in your body somewhere. And so pay attention to those feelings and that reaction from your own energy field, because they're coming close to your energy field, and so your field is going to react to it, right? So pay attention to the feelings in your body where you might feel it, and if you're focusing on one in particular, like right now I'm focusing on Sandalphon, and I feel my feet are really tingling and like really wanting to ground into the earth, right? And so once you have this bubble of protection, the angels could very well say, okay, we're here now, what do you want? Right? You've called on us. What do you want from us? Right? So they are here to help. They are here to assist in whatever you're looking to have answered, or whatever you're looking to have help or support with. So remember that you can, call on them for anything that you need, really, safety, or prayers for a sick family member, or for yourself, or healing, or an answer to a problem that you're having. So really, really call on them, because they want to help, especially now while the world is in such chaos, right? It's just it's a time where the veil is really thin, and we can, as humans, connect to all of these different energies available to us. So I would encourage you to try it, to try when you have a few minutes and you're in your own sacred space, to light a candle or two and use a spray, or you can get some essential oils. They sell them at Whole Foods, right? The sprays, you can get a spray from Whole Foods or a natural store near you, as sort of an invocation to call them in, and then have a dialogue with whomever it is. If having the 6 of them around you is just too much to start with one. Call on one, and have a practice, and invite them into your life for assistance and help. And then always give gratitude and thanks for their time, even though they don't really register with time. But it's always wonderful to give appreciation and gratitude for their service to you, because that is why they're there. They are here to serve you, and support you in your journey, right? We are all here supporting each other, and that's why I'm hoping that these tools that I'm sharing are helping you get through these times, because we're all just here trying to support each other. So try that connection to any of the divine masculine, sacred masculine energies, archangels, Christ for sure, any of the Native American spirit guides that you may be drawn to. It's really, the sky is the limit, right? And it's really up to you and what you resonate with. And so many of the Native American elders, I mean, the wisdom in those men is like no other, right? And so maybe that resonates with you, in which case I would recommend the Mystical Shaman deck, as well as I'm sure there are a few others out there that really connect to the earth energies. And in my next video, I'm going to be talking about the earth energies and how you can really use the elements and the elemental energies to enhance and connect, especially to the earth right now, because it's so important and everything is changing. And if everything on the planet is changing, know that you are changing. And the struggle that you may be feeling right now is the resistance to the changes, because the earth's vibration is getting higher, and we are changing our place in the solar system. And I'm getting ahead of myself, that's the next video. but to have it be more of a smoother ride, we really need to know how to raise our own vibration of our bodies and our minds and our hearts. So I thank you for sticking with me for 26 minutes today, and let me know if you do try any of the tools or decks or the exercise connecting to the Archangels and Christ for sure, who doesn't really need much of an invitation. The Christ energy is always around you. So it's important to know that, and to all it really is setting an intention for connection, and really connecting through your process of prayer, which I had done a video a few weeks ago about the process of prayer. But it's basically an embodiment of that dialogue and developing that relationship with spirit, which is what you're doing right now, right? We're just developing and deepening our relationship with spirit, and spirit shows itself in all of these different guides and all of these different energies, and it's really just your personal preference, what you want to resonate with and what you gravitate to. So it's all personal preference. So have fun with it. It's all about your connection, your journey. So I thank you for letting me be a part of it, and happy new moon, everyone. And I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.